Hey guys, what's going on? David H here again. I wanted to make a video because I got a question from a guy. And I'll just read the question to you. And then I'll go through and break down what I think is happening and hopefully can help him out. So, here's the question. Hey, I really find your videos helpful. If I can make a suggestion for your next video, it would be on the topic of girls. You see, I'm in a similar position as yours, that I have no trouble public speaking, I'm good looking, and can be a funny guy. But due to my anxiety and fear of rejection, along with being a virgin at 19, I have always had a problem asking girls out and never had a girlfriend. This is not because of my looks or personality, but due to my fear of rejection or lack of experience. The story begins. The why, the story that he's creating. I have always made girls laugh and such and hung out with them after school, but never went the next step due to my fears. It would be great if you could shed light on this issue and your personal experiences with this in a future video. Keep up the good work. So I'm really grateful that I got emailed after only posting 3 videos and being on YouTube a week that somebody wanted to make a video around this topic, and I said, hey, I would love to make a video just for you and about what's going on. So, it sounds like you already have a lot going on, really, and you're just not seeing that you are. So, the one thing is, due to my anxiety and fear of rejection, along with being a virgin at 19. So, I'm going to ask you, which is it? Is it all 3, really? I'm going to say that if I was going to pick one of those, it's a fear of rejection. And the anxiety comes from the fear of rejection. And the being virgin at 19 is just a story element you're throwing in there. It really has nothing to do with anything. Because the only one that cares about it is you. So you're just adding it as a piece of the story that is saying, well, I can't do this because... And the girls don't know or care. And trust me, at 19, they really don't know or care. And even at older ages, from what I understand, they don't know, they may not care. So that's something to really consider. Now, due to my fear of rejection or lack of experience. This is interesting. Your lack of experience. So your lack of experience, I guess, sounds like something, a sexual one, is what you're referring to. Because you don't have lack of experience interacting with girls. You say you have always made girls laugh, which is great, and hung out with them after school. And you never went to the next step. So what is the next step? What are you talking about specifically here? You're saying that you can't ask girls out earlier, I believe, right? Problem asking girls out. Well, guess what? Maybe you're already on a date because you're hanging out with them. You see, you're putting an extra step in there when maybe it's just supposed to happen that way, that you're hanging out, and then all you've got to do is, grab her hand. Be nervous and grab her hand. It's okay to be nervous. She's probably nervous too. And then maybe, you'll kiss her. That's just, a scenario. But your scenario seems to be that you have this girl, you're hanging out, and she might really already like you and is like wondering, well, when's he gonna, show his interest in me? When's he gonna make a move? There is some element of leading. And oftentimes the guy is going to have to make the first move. Not always, but, or the first move as far as physically escalating. Okay. So really take a look that you're framing it in a way, and maybe she's like, in her mind going, oh, this is so great. It's like we're on a date. You might already be on that, have that context. So you're putting a lot of pressure, too, that it needs to be a date and asking out. And it just needs to be, hey, let's hang out. You're already hanging out. That's what I do when I go out with girls. When I go, hey, we should hang out. I don't make it this formal thing. That's an old school traditional mindset that I understand. It's still ingrained in us somehow. But and it used to be a status quo thing back in the day. But now it's hanging out, and girls like it when it's more of a hanging out. That you're just like a cool guy and want to hang out and make her do the work. So the other thing is to, I recommend being, hey, we should hang out. If you're not already hanging out. If you're already hanging out, then you really don't need to do much other than escalate it to the next level, and then you've got all this stuff about being a virgin and all that, and I'm not sure how much you've made out or kissed with girls you haven't really explained, but you can feel free to message me, but ask yourself, give yourself credit for what you're already doing, and then ask yourself, why am I putting so much pressure on myself? You don't need to. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on your question. I hope it helps. I hope it gives you some different perspectives. And this fear of rejection thing is a common thing, but one of the biggest parts is that if you didn't need something from her, or need to have girls in your life or women, if you just love and accepted who you were, then you would always feel okay. And then it would just be like, if you asked a girl out or said, hey, let's hang out, and she's like, no, then it wouldn't matter, because you don't need that to fulfill you. See, if you have a hole that you're trying to fill with a girl, with a car, with money, you'll never be satisfied. This is a key one, and one I've struggled with for years, but I'm really getting a hold of now. Yeah, so, and I have experience with women, but I always have had this thing where I want more and more and more, and I'm going to do a whole video on something called For the Sake of What. So look for that coming up. My uncle was coaching me. He's a very talented personal coach on... I said, well, I want to date 10 women in the next 2 weeks. I just threw it out there for fun, and he was like, why do you want to do that? And I said, well, so I have, choice with women. Or actually, I said, because I feel I want to have choice. And he was like, oh, so it's a feeling, which is a belief. I said, okay. Yeah, so I want to have this choice so that I can, if something doesn't work out, I have options. He said, okay. I hear fear in there. I hear you're afraid of something. I said, yeah. Yeah, I'm afraid if it doesn't work out. I want that feeling of power and control. I was like, ooh, now we're getting juicy. And he said, oh, okay, so that feeling, huh? And I was like, I started to feel it. And I was like, oh, so it's not about the women, it's about having that feeling. He's like, we all want to be loved. And then I said, yeah, but if I just accept myself right here and now, I can feel that. I don't have a woman here with me now. I don't have any dates planned this week or anything. Do I? Kinda, not really. A friend that likes me, but I'm not really into her. Yeah, it was very telling. So for the sake of what have I been wanting to have more and more and more women and have this certain number or more numbers, just to fill a hole that I felt inadequate, that I felt I needed to have options to move on to in case something didn't work out, to shield myself. But I don't need to shield myself if I'm okay with myself. And if somebody rejects me or turns me down, that doesn't have to do with who I am intrinsically, and it doesn't have to do with you. So it's getting dark here, so I'm going to have to stop recording. But I just wanted to throw that in there, because you asked for me to throw a personal experience in. And it all relates, we all relate on that level of self-acceptance. We're not unique in that we have fears of rejection and fears of not being loved and fears of inadequacy. But the more you fix your self-image, or have a healthy one, I don't necessarily want to say fix, the more you have a healthy one and accept yourself and love yourself, and the easier everything will be. So that's my 2 cents. And I've really learned a lot of that from Overcoming Social Anxiety, step-by-step program from the socialanxietyinstitute.org. They have a lot of things on self-acceptance, and the more that I do that in terms of social anxiety, the easier things are. My self-image is getting whole, and I'm just caring less about needing women and all that. So anyways, I hope that helped you, my friend, and anybody else watching, and put your comments below as always, and take care. Bye.